Hello, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for our panel. Thank you so much to our gentleman that was setting up. We appreciate that. They had to transform this room real quick, so we started a little bit late. But thank you for joining us. This is the Blurred Lines panel. This is like the freshman year, very first day. If you are in C214, you are in the right place. If you are looking for the Blurred Lines panel, you are in the right place. My name is V. Harrison.
Hey, V.
Hey, girl. Hey. I'm a Chicago-bred journalist from the west side of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
West
There
side.
we go. There we go.
It's West Side.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
What's
Real
going
too,
on?
man.
Nice.
You love us, man.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
God.
are a Chicago-born journalist. I am full of stories. I'm happy to be here, mainly on behalf of the XL Film Fest, where I serve as the publicist for the festival. We got Trey Pryor in the back. Say what up.
Yo, what's good?
Mr. XL Film Fest himself. This conversation is special because it's a continuation of conversations that we begun at the XL Film Festival. So I'm pretty excited to get started, and I want everyone on our panel to introduce themselves. And we're going to get started right away. Over to our right. Who do we have?
Hi everyone, my name is Sanicole. I am a writer, director, filmmaker here in Chicago.
Thank you.
How y'all doing? My name is Corey Demond. I'm an actor, fashion designer, stylist, and children's book author.
How y'all doing? I'm Lonnie Edwards. I'm a filmmaker, artist, and I'm trying to be a fashion designer like this guy.
Now you notice the common thread, right? Nobody had one thing they said they were, okay? And that's exactly what this panel is going to tackle. You all in the film and music industry and just in the creative world, we are gifted, and if you are blessed, as these creators to my right are, then you are gifted with more than one gift, right? And in so many instances, as creatives, we tend to blur the lines. We always don't believe in playing it safe, so we go a little beyond the box. So I want to talk to everyone on our panel today. Thank you so much for being with us at the Global Mixed Media Music and Film Forum about the blurred lines and the tackle of the industries that you all are doing. It is so impressive to say like 7 things after your name, right? So, and when people refer to you, they see those 7, 10, 12, 11 things. And I want to talk to you all about that. So let's get right into it. So as a creative, can you all share with us the story of the crossover? When and what did you cross over to? Let's start with you, Sanicole.
What do you mean?
The crossover. When you decided that from one industry to the next, you play this role, you play that role, when did you decide you wanted to wear different hats?
For me, it was for if there's a need and if I didn't have the connection to someone that could fulfill the need, so I became what I needed. Well, they say you have everything that you need, but no, when I first started film, I was just interested in camera work. I was never interested in story or writing or any of that. But I realized when I got out of school that I needed to get into writing because a big part of being a filmmaker is having something to say. So I had to do my diligence in researching writing, which is not what I wanted to do. It wasn't something I wanted to do. But I figured if I loved camera so much, then I would need to learn this other part. And so I occupied that space, still not really 100% confident there, but then I would have other writers say, "Oh my God, you wrote the shit out of it. What did you like? What did you?" So
What you do?
So right. So when you find out what that voice is, whatever the voice is, or what you feel like people should chew on, then you will naturally kind of assume the position that you need in order to get something done. And I think we can all speak to just wanting to do something and maybe not having all the resources or all the people that you need to get it done, but you find a way to get it done, or you occupy the space and you do the research, whatever research needs to be done, to do it on a small scale until somebody says, "Hey, I can do that on a bigger scale for you."
Hello.
So you may have to just jump out there and be that person that you don't have.
Yeah.
And it sucks and it's not easy, but it can be done.
Yeah, for sure. Corey?
I filled the void that was missing in my life. I started off as a model, and we do some gigs where if it's like a commercial or certain things like that, models used to play the background. And then the paid actors are in the front. They got the speaking roles that's obviously getting paid more than us. And I was curious, like, why I ain't getting paid like them. And then also, that's as me as a person, I always like style. Dress nice everywhere I go. Don't care. I told myself I wasn't gonna be that struggling looking at. I always wanted to, look like I got something going for myself at all times. I don't care. And when I was living in LA, people used to always give me compliments or say, hey, where you get that jacket from type thing. And I was like, Zara? And they were like, oh, well, I thought you made it.
Not Zara.
So I guess people saw things inside of me that I didn't see in myself.
Right.
So I end up, hey, you must think I'm a fashion designer. Maybe I should be a fashion designer. Mm-hmm. And as far as styling, it's just like your friends are artists or in music. Well, I start styling them out of my closet. Styling with my garment, so it's all just like a harmony as far as with just fashion and film. And like when I was in church, it was always, you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. And I was like, nope. I was hard-headed Leo. And he goes, everything is not, it's a season for everything. If we on set, I'm filming, all right, after those few weeks or whatever we done, I'm supposed to sit here and wait for someone to just give me a job. Right. So I can do fashion. And then the children's book, like coming from the west side of Chicago, I didn't know any authors, know any illustrators, or know how to self-publish. So it took me 6 or 7 years just to learn how or find someone that give me that wisdom to do that. So everything so happily, you're creating and doing things, one, because you're broke, and then one, because I didn't really want to work a true 9 to 5. And then all just consistently being consistent, putting the hours in every day on each one, reading and doing everything, and you look up and everything is doing right where it's supposed to be at once, and you're not even trying to do it, just a second nature.
Alignment. You don't even mean for it to align, but it just starts falling in place. Lonnie, talk to us.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing for me is like idle hands is like, if I'm not doing something, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Like that's just straight up. I'm gonna just be real. And it's also like since I was a kid, there was just so many things that I was interested in. There's so many things that I felt like I knew how to do. So being blessed to have the talent to do things, the older I got and the more I started to realize and figure out that I could do these things, it started to be attached to a purpose and what I felt like I had a higher purpose for something. Because the first thing that I did that really stood out was in the film space. And the initial thing that really kind of pulled me into the film space was like, yo, you know what? It was a challenge, it was a competition, right? So that was the thing that kind of pushed me like, oh man, these films are cool, but I could do something better than that. But what I started to realize after my first like 2 film festivals that I was in was that I'm as like right now in this space that we're in, we're speaking these things outwardly to people that are listening to us, and I appreciate that, to have the opportunity, right? So it means more than that, than this egotistical space of me saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna create something that's better, right? So that was the first thing. So it's like when I was making these films, it came from this space where I wanted to do that. I was talking to Sam earlier about how in the short film space, I hit a wall where it's like you don't have the resources that you can have to make something. So just in my own personal space, like I didn't want to keep making short films. I wanted to graduate into making feature-length things. So to sit there and pitch and put all this work into something where you're just creating these components and selling your stuff to someone, I had to do something else. So there's a downtime, what Corey was saying, of, I'm sitting here, I'm not gonna just wait for this other stuff to happen. I can't do the 9 to 5 thing because I do still have a huge ego. So it's like, I can't do that. So, I'm gonna have to figure it out, right? So, I got into art, like painting. I wrote a children's book as well. I didn't know you had a children's book. That's dope.
Shout out to the children.
Yeah. A children's book that came out in February. It's called The Green Llama. But like, it's one of those things where every single thing that I've done is because I don't personally believe in downtime. Like I need to be doing something. I need to be getting better. I need to leave last year better than what it was, right? So it's like, I'm gonna go into this year. What did I do at the end of the year? I review my entire year. Like what could I have done more of? what are the things that I left on the table? And that's pretty much like how I've gotten into just all these different things, you know? Yeah. And also, I feel like in 2024, if you're not doing a bunch of different things, one thing is going to help move the other needle. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah.
Appreciate that. So all of you pretty much admitted you don't sleep. That's what you're saying?
No, I sleep.
You do sleep.
I fall asleep. I don't go to
You
sleep.
fall, oh, okay. I fall asleep, I don't go to sleep.
I'm like, dang, well,
Because when you're multifaceted and you are in between industries and you dare to take a challenge of doing different things and wearing different hats, you are all over the place all the time usually. How do you maintain a mental health that is healthy for you to get your art done? Let's start with you, Corey.
how do I gain a mental health?
How do you maintain good mental health? Yeah.
I recently started doing that. I used to run myself to the ground. My body shut me down, honestly. I was forced to take a rest, chest, body, health, and everything, because there was days no sleep, trying to do everything at once, and you stress yourself out, trying to have a family and do everything. But now, I set a schedule, man. Like, my phone goes off at 7 o'clock and say, go play basketball. So if I'm able to, if I'm not working or doing something crazy, like, I go stop and just go shoot around, because that's my happy place.
Yeah.
I found that was my first love, so I always go back to that and just go shoot around, if it's for 5 or 10 minutes, just to clear your head. Like, before, I had an event 3 weeks ago, and it was crazy. The world was like, the event place didn't pick up, shares is not delivered yet. I was like, I'm gonna go play basketball. And I literally, while chaos was going on, I went to go play ball, and it calmed me down, and I was like, all right, let's get back to it. But yeah, just, setting time with myself. I used ChatGPT to organize my day, and gave me like some grace or time periods in between time in the morning to like stretch, work out, read, pray, and then sometime in the evening to like set up a schedule where I can just go and be free for it.
What about you, Sam? How do you juggle and maintain good mental health?
I take breaks.
What does that look like?
Cause with filmmaking, you have to walk away, if that makes any sense. I know we got some filmmakers in here that just have to walk away from it. Sometimes you have to walk away from it. Sometimes you're looking at the screen too long. Sometimes you're looking at your script too long, and you have to walk away and just come back with fresh eyes. So that's helped, because when you're creating, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of feelings going on. You're nervous, you're unsure. You could be confident about what you're writing about, but in terms of actually doing the process of writing, you can feel a lot of emotions. So sometimes it's okay to disengage, just take a break. And it's a mental job. Writing is a mental job. And you can just be mentally tired from writing, because screenwriting involves you to look at several different things at one time. You look at the situation of your film or whatever, the scene of your film, the type of character of whoever that person is in that scene, the time of day, the subject matter, what they would say, how they would say it, when they would say it.
Okay, break that thing down for
So, I mean, when you're screenwriting, you're thinking of all these things, and then you're thinking of the whole piece in collection with other scenes that you have to write. That's a lot of work, mental work. So the best thing that you can do while your mind is joggling and mentally trying to juggle all of these aspects that you have to remember in order to create a body of work, step away. Step away and look at all of those individual things with themselves, and then collectively consider them. So I would, the best thing, I smoke, I'll have weed to relax me.
Hallelujah.
I don't know if there's weed smokers out here. I'm not advocating drugs, I'm just saying that some of them help.
Some people out there.
Yeah, some of them help just to calm yourself and to reapproach. So yeah, rest.
Just rest. And Lonnie, you, living this blurred lines life, how do you not blur the brain?
I've been so in tune with art now, like painting. That's helped so much. So just having this space where my art is directly connected to like just me as a person, and I think that's the thing where I just love like falling into painting and like doing things like that. It started during like COVID, so like 2020 I started like painting and creating art.
The perfect
And
time.
yeah, that's what all of my like, so I have this art like collection called shadow work, right? So like the shadow work is literally directly connected to my own growth throughout those years. So it's like 3 parts of shadow work. Like we're in 2024 now. Literally the 3rd part of that series finished last year. So I'm literally selling pieces of my stress. Like, you know what I mean?
Interesting, yes.
Outside of that, like I love like fitness stuff. So like I work out almost every day. I go cycling. Now it's starting to get cold, but like I usually go cycling like probably like 80, 90 miles a week.
You be one of the people in the way on 290.
I be on the trails. I stay away. I stay off the streets.
No bike.
I stay off the streets.
You all, as someone in my industry and who have lived and dabbled in so many different things, I'm born, I'll always say, as a writer, but I've done some PR work, some art covers, and things of that sort. Do you have a favorite? You know, or is it one of those things like mama say, ain't no favorite, babe, I love you all the
Always be my favorite.
You know, and I think often in my own life, you know, there's so many different things I've tried, but nothing will ever trump my writing, right? That's my heart, that's my love. And you mentioned basketball, I don't know if that's it, but I would love to talk about your favorite. And in living that blurred lines life and living those different lanes and going from one industry to the next and back to the other, is there something that really, really just makes your heart sing? Let's start with you, Sam.
I recently directed a film called Take 290.
Whoop, whoop. Check it out, y'all. It's brand new.
It is fire.
Yes.
But this was my first job not being a producer on that film. So I was able to just come in and watch everybody else run around and I could just sit and be a director and just focus on whatever was involved in directing, and I had no clue what was going on in all these other departments, and it was fabulous.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, this is what it's like to be a director.
I love that.
Because I'm usually running around.
Yeah.
And then I sit in my director's seat after I ran around. So I think just to focus on directing, just to have that experience and not have like the worry on my back about who's gonna show up, if they gonna show up, is our lighting gonna last, oh, do we have the proper insurance for equipment, and I didn't have to worry about any of that. So I think directing would absolutely be my favorite. Everything else will fall.
Fair enough.
Everything else will fall, and if somebody else can occupy that space.
Fair enough. What about you, Courtney?
That's hard for me to ask for a favorite.
I get it.
I feel like I always said fashion is like my way of life,
Yeah.
and then film is what keeps me alive. So it's like a harmony between both.
Can you put your credits out there real quick, just in case the room don't know?
Let us real quick. Who are you?
Well, film wise, I'm working on the show Power Book Force. The character's called Bones in the show. Worked on Chicago Fire. Did some stuff with Empire. I did a short film a while ago with this beautiful lady here.
It was so long
Text
ago.
Home. I loved it. Just because I worked with her, she's such a wise person to work with, and seeing her growth over the years is inspiring. That's dope. And fashion wise, like my latest, I worked with Stevie Wonder last week.
We just saw that on Facebook. You
Yeah.
were Stevie.
Yeah. Chris Brown, Chris Red, a lot of NFL, a lot of NBA. It's just being able. I say like somebody asked me what's your luxury. I said being able to do those things.
Yeah.
But everybody not able to do it, so I don't take advantage of it. But like I said, fashion is just every day for me. You know, if you made me say a favorite, because it's one because I can control it.
Yeah.
I'm a control person. I don't like waiting. I can go if I need to make something, I can go create it. I don't have to go wait for somebody else to go create that for me. But that film thing is just always up going that mountain. It's a challenge, just learning, just staying ready, staying available, it's studying, it's you never know what, so it's that aspect, so that challenge of my other side of my life, that film is like, I'm not perfected it yet, so I kind of consistently do that. And fashion is just like, it's a flow, so.
Way of life.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Lonnie, you got a favorite?
Yeah, I mean, film and directing is my favorite thing. I've always loved film, like my entire life. Like I'm just a straight up film nerd, and it does make it a lot easier when it's not a difficult thing. But I've been so far removed from like having films be difficult. It's just now I'm on that side, like I said, I'm trying to do something that's like bigger, like I'm challenging myself more, right? So I'm still creating the work. So to be making this documentary right now, this first feature film that I'm working on, when you're doing a documentary, a lot of times you're still just doing the work yourself with your team. I have an entire production company, like an entire production team. So we're still shooting it. It's just, with making the documentary, it's like you're building the spaceship as it's flying or whatever they say. But it's extremely fun, and I like to make things that are completely different than the norm when it comes to certain things, especially with film. So that would be my favorite. Art is awesome. I actually I started hating to paint because it became this thing where I have management. So my managers tell me that I need to paint, so that turned that into something that was more work driven. It's like, so they would tell me I need to paint, and as I was saying earlier, like that's like this whole like place of solitude, the safe space, and they're like, you do need to paint, but also you need to document, so you gotta film the whole process. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to make a TikTok. I'm not trying to do none of that. Like I just want to paint and show y'all. Like, yeah, so that's kind of moved me into the space of loving film again even more. But yeah, it's just a love-hate space with film, the same way that y'all two said, like. But I love film way more than I hate it, for sure.
It is a love hate.
I can see that. A love hate.
It's a love hate.
I would say the hate comes from our minds are so far, and the budget that it takes.
Yeah. Just like trying to pay people, bro. Yeah.
Like we supposed the budget and now we gotta figure out how we gotta just bring it down because we can't do that part yet. Yeah. And that's frustrating.
Because I'm sure, because with fashion, right? It's like, you're in control of that. So it's like, this is what this cut's gonna be, this is what this is gonna be. Mm-hmm. In the film space, again, you're selling this concept to people, and I might bring it to Corey. He's like, this is great. I got some other people to put some money into it. And then I come over to y'all, and y'all are like, well, we should probably change this, or we'll add more money if you completely take this scene out. And I'm like, it's not even mine no more. Now I'm in a place where I kind of got to choose if I want to do this because I spent 3 years on it and y'all finna give me a bag, or I could say, fuck it, I'm going to just hold off. So that's the thing that it turns into.
And can I also say,
Please say.
Sometimes when you can't get the bag, if you have decent relationships, you can make a call. And I've been in positions to where I didn't have connection. I think, it was once I was producer on a G Herbo video here in Chicago. And I've kept up with Clint, even though me and Clint don't speak every day, but I've kept up with him with whatever he's doing or whatever, and we've been able to build a relationship over the years. When I was on that job, I was stressed because the things they were asking me for, I had no connection to. They wanted pit bulls. They wanted cars. And I was like, okay, y'all want a pit bull on set today? Like, y'all want two right now? Oh,
train pit bull?
Right. And I was running around trying to find things that I had no connection to whatsoever. And all I had to do was call Clint.
One phone
call. I was like, Clint, I need some dogs. I need some dogs on set for like 3 hours. He was like, I got you. I was like, man, I need a car. I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna find a car. He was like, don't worry, I got you. And just having that one relationship got me through that job. And I had to tell him at the end I was like, bro, if I didn't know you, I would have been screwed.
That should be invigorating though. Like, you'd be like, yo.
if I didn't know you, if I couldn't make this call and we had a great relationship or a great working relationship, I wouldn't have had the resource to be able to find these things. So please develop relationship with people outside of what you need.
Yeah, for sure.
Because me and Clint have a relationship outside of what I need. And he can see me as a person. And make sure you're working with people that see you as a person. And not as a product, and not as a machine. I'm a person first. So treat me like a person when I walk in here.
Love that. Thank you so much. We got to get ready to wrap up, but I want everybody in the audience to know how to find you all and what you got coming up next. So real quick, let's start with you, Lonnie.
The first thing that I have coming up on November 24th is I have a screening with the Illinois Film Office and Adobe Labs and the Grammy Academy for Oz Music and Film Fest. And then I have Official B-Tech is my IG for my production company. Lonnie Edwards is my art IG. And then I got a bunch of other shows coming up, but they're not gonna be in Chicago. But this thing on the 24th, y'all should definitely pull up too. I'll send y'all the info.
You're not doing music?
Yo, I should.
How can we find you, Corey?
You can find me at Corey_Demond, spelled demon. I'm not a demon, but just Corey Demond. Instagram, and my brand is always Gravy. Gravy like the zebra, GREVYI. JustinGoodListener.com.
I am on everything as Sanicole, SANICOLE. I have 2 films coming out. One is already finished. It's called Take 290. Another one is called The Bet. And I just directed a comedy special for Little Real at the South Museum this year. And that's coming out.
Stop that.
Power Book Force comes out beginning of the next year.
That's what's up.
Power Book Force.
Power Book Force.
Check out Power.
Grateful to be among so many brilliant creators, and I'm V.O. Harrison, journalist. I'm found everywhere at V.O. Harrison. Shout out to Troy Pryor in the back, founder of Creative Cypher, and stay tuned for Excel Fest 2025. Thank you all so much.
All right.